Some breaking news. Florida Judge Aileen has dismissed the classified documents case against former President Donald Trump, saying the special counsel prosecution is in violation of the Appointments Clause of the Constitution. Now, Trump had been charged with illegally holding onto highly sensitive state secrets after leaving office and obstructing the government's effort to retrieve them, the infamous Mar-a-Lago raid. Now, in this 93-page order, Judge Cannon wrote that, quote, upon careful study of the foundational challenges raised in the motion, the court is convinced that Special Counsel Smith's prosecution of this action breaches two structural cornerstones of our constitutional scheme, the role of Congress in the appointment of constitutional officers, and also the role of Congress in authorizing expenditures by law. Marks a huge win for Trump on the first day of the Republican National Convention, and after a series of political wins and surviving attempted assassination, now he's set to officially become the party's nominee at the end of the week. On Truth Social, Trump wrote in part, quote, as we move forward in uniting our nation after the horrific events on Saturday, the dismissal of the lawless indictment in Florida should be just the first step, followed quickly by the dismissal of all the witch hunts. Reacting on X, the New York Times' Maggie Haberman wrote, quote, hard to overstate how big a deal this is. The case was widely seen as the clearest cut of the four. Similarly, legal analyst Jonathan Turley wrote, quote, the dismissal of the classified documents case is a seismic development. From the beginning of all of those cases, I have said that the Mar-a-Lago case was the greatest threat to the former president. It is now dismissed. Turley added that, quote, the opinion is still an outlier among the courts that have reviewed this question. Meanwhile, Congressman Matt Gaetz tweeted a picture of Judge Cannon with the caption, Future Supreme Court Justice Cannon. MSNBC anchor Chris Hayes wrote that, quote, just to be crystal clear, SCOTUS has upheld special counsels repeatedly. Cannon is a district court judge, and her job is to apply controlling precedent. She's doing this because she thinks the MAGA court is on the same page as her and that Trump's lawyers will go along. Harvard professor Lawrence Tribe similarly wrote, quote, Judge Cannon just did the unthinkable. She dismissed the Trump classified documents case on the repeatedly rejected basis that DOJ violated the Constitution's Appointments Clause by appointing Special Counsel Smith at all. DOJ must appeal right away. On SCOTUS, only Justice Thomas took the view in Trump v. the United States. This finally gives Jack Smith an opportunity to seek her removal from the case. And Fox News reporter wrote, quote, the momentum and timing of this news cycle is unprecedented. Truly remarkable. Yes, indeed. I feel like if I saw... Come on, Aileen. Okay, that's a good one. Just say, if I saw the headline like Trump wins Mega Millions jackpot, at this point I would believe it. Just what a favorable series of, obviously being almost assassinated is not a favorable development, but he is unharmed and is going to be able to use that to his political benefit in terms of the optics of it and the photo he took. And if this makes him disciplined in showing unity and bringing the country together, as I said earlier, he really has this tremendous moment. Now he has a favorable ruling in the documents case, which I absolutely agree was the clearest cut of the various cases. There was just no argument that he didn't do it and that he did not return the documents. Now, whether that was ever going to matter all that much, whether it was a weighty issue in the minds of voters or what consequence he was going to suffer for it, might not have been all that clear. But it was his involvement in it. It was a very easy thing to prove and to demonstrate. But they are saying, Judge Cannon is saying that the appointment of Jack Smith was not constitutional. Now, Jack Smith is obviously in charge of the more serious case, the January 6th federal case. So if the argument is he was appointed wrongly to oversee the Mar-a-Lago case, then I think that argument would hold as well.
This is also not the first special counsel Trump has. He's got a lot of special counsels because he's a really special guy, Robbie.
Special counsels for special people.
The Robert Mueller specific special counsel case. Interesting that the legal team for Donald Trump raised similar constitutional questions about the appointment, and they were unsuccessful. Also, special counsel case, David Weiss, Hunter Biden, another case where this potentially could have been raised, but Aileen Cannon made clear that Weiss is different because he was already a U.S. attorney at the time of being appointed, and Smith was a private citizen, and that is the main difference there. That is why this stood, while the others didn't. There's also this question of presidential immunity given the Supreme Court ruling. What does that mean for Trump's other cases where Jack Smith is special counsel? So there's a lot going on here because, Trump's a special guy, but he did call for on Truth Social, let's just drop all of these in the name of unity. It's all this big witch hunt because the deep state hates me and wants me dead.
Yeah, I am not in a position, this is breaking news, we're just reacting to it live. I'm not in a position to adjudicate the constitutional issue here. I take Chris Hayes at his word, which might be totally incorrect of me to do, that this issue has been before the Supreme Court in the past, and only Justice Thomas was skeptical of a special counsel appointed this way. So perhaps this will be subjected to additional legal scrutiny by a higher court, and it will be overruled. However, again, this will delay any resolution of this case beyond. I mean, it's been dismissed, so it's not ongoing unless there's a lawsuit and a higher court decision. So even if somehow it ends up getting reinstated, that's going to be well into what looks like Trump's second term at this point.
And he'll have immunity then, of course. And
so yeah, it's
but that's for official acts while he's president. I don't know that we can say this counts. But he did take the documents while he was president. Maybe he just never looked at them or touched them when he was out of office, and so the immunity does apply. We don't know, but I think we can anticipate that this will reach the highest court.
Yeah. Again, the issue in the documents case, not literally every, but so many national political officials also violated this law by keeping documents that they should not have had, including Mike Pence and Joe Biden. Now, they both returned them when they were asked nicely to do so. Trump said no, so that was the difference there. I have a little bit of question about documents being overly classified, and it seems to me if federal officials and political candidates are routinely, flagrantly violating this law inadvertently, that probably says that we classify way too many things or documents that ought to be declassified or ought to be things the American people can process and see what's really going on behind the scenes. Too much of that is going on, and so was Donald Trump ensnared in again a kind of deep state thing where because there is this knee-jerk secrecy and classification, and he didn't follow that protocol, he ends up in trouble. Now, he could have obviously just saved himself a lot of consternation here by returning the things when he was asked to do so. But
and of course, Robby, you say this because you're very passionate about the topic of State Department officials and members of the security community telling us everything they know about the aliens.
The aliens, yeah.
And you have a very measured take on
I want to know.
Every time we cut to break, he's talking about the aliens. He's wondering where the documents are.
Where are the bodies? Where are the alien bodies? Where are the... No,
This is Trump's take. Trump should say, as a real populist, I'll tell you all about the aliens.
Maybe that'll be the next...
I had a spiritual awakening. I'm going to be forthcoming.
Maybe that will be the next unbelievably positive headline for Donald Trump. Donald Trump discovers, meets with, comes to peace accord with aliens.
They just have weeks of bangers lined up for us. They're ready for it. This was all staged to make him look cool. Next week, something about aliens. It's going to be great. They are running a hell of a campaign.
What a day. More Rising right after this.